What's good, everybody? In today's video, I want to show you exactly how I walk through the entire hardcore mode in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, every single perk, exactly how to counter it. Super easy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and lock straight in. If you want to go to any part of this guide, feel free to check the chapter list down below. I got you covered. So the first perk I want to talk about is going to be Somnambulant. This perk can be easily countered multiple ways. The first way is cheese. I got a full long guide here, but just the cheese strat. You can go into the pause menu, load game, and you'll see exactly where you are, and you can cross-reference that on the map to figure out where you basically have walked off to. For example, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but I do kind of know that's Numbskull over there. This right here is a grocer, and I went to sleep in Tarkov. Tarkov is in the northern part of the map, so if I zoom all the way out, Tarkov is all the way up here. I went to the bed in Tarkov and went to sleep and ended up all the way on the other side of the map. So this Somnambulant perk will take you anywhere. No place is safe. You can end up in a cave. You can end up in a barn. You can end up anywhere on the map. So you really just got to cross-reference where you are. And like I said before, just jump into your load save and you'll see it right there. There it is. The Blacksmith's Son's quest is what I'm on right now, and I'm near West Farm. So as long as you can cross-reference that, you should be good to go. So the other side of the perk that you need to worry about is going to be you lose your restedness 40% faster. And that's an easy counter as long as you have a cockerel potion. So I'll go ahead and show you the cockerel potion ingredients. You're going to need valerian and mint, and you should be good to go. Make sure you use 2 mint for this. As long as you have the highest quality version, not only will you be able to get your energy, but you'll also be able to slow down how fast you become tired. Let's move on to the next perk. So for the next perk is going to be Bad Back. This perk is actually super simple. You're going to be walking all over the world. You're going to see all these different types of herbs and stuff. You're going to bend down, grab them. And if you grab them, you have the chance. And it's actually a pretty low chance. I want to say it's about a 20%, 30% chance because it doesn't always proc, but it does proc. And I can probably grab almost every single poppy in this field before it pops sometimes. It just depends on your RNG. There it is. But when it does pop, that's going to be a debuff on your character for 30 seconds exactly. And that's it. That's the only real, caveat to this thing. For a full 30 seconds, you're going to be hobbling around. If you go into your inventory and you look at your speed is all the way dropped to 1. So you can't run and you can't jump, but you can call your horse, climb on top of your horse and just walk away. So it doesn't really matter that much, but the real issue with this perk is going to be the carry weight. That is where this perk is going to hurt you because it's 50% less carry weight straight off from the beginning. So the only way to carry that is going to be 2 things. First of all, you just want to get up your strength stat. The higher your strength stat, the more carry weight you have. And there's 3 perks in here that you can go ahead and take a look at. Hardworking Lad, I think Pack Mule, and also Strong as a Bull. Hardworking Lad is going to give you, I think it's 8 carry weight. Yeah, 8 pounds of carry weight. The Pack Mule gives you 12, and then Strong as a Bull is going to give you 20 pounds respectively. So just go ahead and get to those perks and you'll be able to counter that pretty easily. If you want a potion, there's actually a potion in the very first city. So I'll take you over here. Inside of this city, there's going to be this alchemy bench right here. Right next to this is going to be a potion recipe book. The recipe that we're talking about is going to be something that kind of can counteract strength issues, which is going to be Archismisia. It increases your strength by 2 for 10 minutes at the base. And then if you get the stronger version, it'll increase it by 4. And it also does some other effects. And of course, the Hangry version of that is top tier. Let's move on to the next perk. So Bashfull. Bashfull is kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. You can't ask people for directions. So actually knowing exactly where you are on the map at all times is going to be very important. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. If you know exactly where you are and you cross-reference that on your map with really large landmarks like Numbskull Castle over there, the forest in front of me, and there's like a little town at the bottom of the forest. If I zoom out for you guys, you can see it. This is actually where I'm standing and I'm looking down. There's a town right here. Numbskull is over there. I'm facing in the southern direction. If I go 180s in the opposite way, we're going towards, the north, which would be Trotsky Castle, Tarkov, and all that other stuff. As long as you know exactly what time it is, where the sun is, where it's rising, where it's setting, and have yourself a couple of landmarks, even a road. You could really figure out exactly where you are on the map pretty easily. Now, the other part of that perk, which is kind of annoying, is going to be you can't use the bathhouse services anymore. So you're going to need the soap recipe as soon as possible so that you can always wash your clothes. There's going to be a lot of places all over the map scattered that are going to be places where you could just take a bath and you can wash your clothes. So as long as you have soap on you, you should be good to go. In the very first city, right over here, you're going to have a place that you can wash yourself up. And they're literally scattered normally near rivers and, lakes and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to the speech, this is easily countered because you can just make yourself a fox potion. The fox potion ingredients are going to be nettle, St. John's wort, belladonna, and charcoal. You can buy charcoal in the first city as well from the trader, as well as sometimes I think the apothecary has some, but usually the trader will have about 10 of them on him at all times. So just go ahead and snatch those from him and you'll be good to go for the rest. The base version of the fox potion is going to raise your speech and it speeds up your reading. You have to get the Hangry variant of this potion in order to get extra experience though. So you'll be able to get your speech up, but when it comes to the experience gains, you're going to have to get the full-blown Hangry version. So that's going to be all the way at level 16. Hungry Hangry. So Hungry Hangry is the easiest thing to counter in the game because all you need to do is take yourself a cockerel potion to make sure that you just don't go to sleep. You'll always have energy and you'll be good to go in almost every circumstance. Valerian and Mint, you're good. This thing is like one of my favorite potions in the game, and it's going to stop you, or it slows down how fast you can get tired. So this is just another really clutch potion that you want to go ahead and use. And of course, food. Honey is the best thing. There's a whole bunch of it all over the place. You could either steal it or just take it from the very first city right over here. You have all these different spots where you have plenty of honey for you. Go ahead and snatch it from out of there and you'll be good to go. Honey never spoils and it has some decent nourishment value. But remember, all food will fill you 50% less in this game because of this perk. So just be aware of that, which I kind of actually like it this way because sometimes you would eat food and it would take you over the limit. It would have you bloated and that was really annoying. So this is actually a pretty cool perk. I enjoy this one. Heavy footed. Heavy footed is not as bad as it seemed. I thought that this was going to be an issue because you start off at 25 noise, but it doesn't really matter. You can still sneak around buildings and stuff like that. You can be inside of somebody's residence and there's a bunch of perks in the game, like you can hide in bushes and whatnot to completely negate this. So it's not an issue at all. The real issue with this is going to be the shoes. You need a cobbler's kit because your shoes are going to wear down extremely fast. And that part is more annoying than anything else. Menace. We'll talk about Menace towards the end of the video. Numbskull. The only counter that you need for this is going to be the fox potion. That's it. But you need the Hangry variant of the fox potion. So getting your character to level 16 in alchemy is going to be your #1 priority. Because as soon as you get to 16, you're going to be able to get secrets of secrets. And this is going to allow you to make exceptionally well quality potions, the Hangry variant. And from there on, life is just going to be super easy. So probably one of the most important perks in the game is going to be alchemy and scholarship. Scholarship is another way that you can counter Numbskull because Wonders of Beast, Wonders of Man, and Wonders of Nature will all counteract the experience loss that you're getting in certain situations. So these three right here are very, very important. Picky Eater. So Picky Eater is fairly simple. We're going to already be eating honey, so food doesn't really matter. When you hunt down animals, you don't get as much from it than you did in the normal version of the game. So that is something that's a caveat or whatever, but it's not that big a deal. And the food in your inventory will spoil faster. However, you can instantly counter that with Art of Preservation, which is a very early skill in the very beginning of the alchemy tree. So make sure you grab this so you can level yourself out and put yourself back to normal. Punchable face. So Punchable face is an interesting situation right now because it doesn't seem like it's that bad. I was able to basically tear Hans apart in the opening, little duel that you had with him. I was able to box out everybody at the end when you have to fight when Hans gets himself in trouble over in the inn in the very first city. That was no problem. And getting into scraps, which are usually one-on-one, it's not too bad. When you have multiple enemies on you, you need to kind of prioritize very quickly, figure out who you want to take down and take them out as fast as humanly possible. And it would be a great idea to get Master Strikes from Tomcat. But this doesn't seem like it's that dangerous of a perk as of right now, where I am in the game. What this perk is going to do to you is you take 10% more damage. The enemy is braver, so they're not going to run away. They're more resilient, so they have a little bit more, bulk on them. And they're definitely going to be a little bit stronger. So if you're surrounded by too many enemies, this could get out of hand very quickly. What I would do is I would use different types of poisons and the sleeping potion to kind of, even odds. Sweaty. So Sweaty is super simple. All you really need to do is make sure that you have soap on you and you're taking a bath once or twice every single day. Don't let it be an excuse like if you open up the day, you just woke up at the end, it might not be a bad idea to run over to a river somewhere and wash yourself up. Just wash up real quick so that you can prepare yourself for the entire day. And that's going to be the easiest way to combat this entire thing, because you're going to get dirty fast. And if you're dirty, you're going to smell bad. And if you smell, you're going to be able to pick up where you are very quickly, like 2 times the distance from normal. So just make sure that you always have soap on you. And with soap on you at all times, you'll be able to wash up. And this isn't really a problem. Now let's roll back over to Menace. Menace is a very interesting perk because you basically don't want to get caught for crimes. But there's a lot of things that instantly counter this perk in the game. So if we just want to go over a couple, not getting caught for having stolen goods is going to be super important, but this is towards the end of the game. So partner in crime is a must-have, but that's way later on down the road. Things that you probably want to concern yourself with way before that are going to be the drinking perk. There's a perk in here that you're going to be able to use your drunken state to get out of trouble. So if you commit a minor crime, you can actually just excuse yourself by saying, hey, I'm drunk, I'm sorry. And usually you get straight out of it. And the interactions are kind of cool. I like that perk a lot because it's just funny what Hangry comes up with. And then the scholarship perk. This is going to be the #1 perk that you always want to get in every playthrough, because you have fundamentals of law. When dealing with guards, your speech and charisma will count 2 higher. So you're already kind of getting yourself out of the, lion's den. And then you have the fundamentals of law 2. On top of that, you can get the fundamentals of theology, where you can commit a bunch of crimes, take out all the witnesses, and then go on a pilgrimage to clear your name. That's very easy, and it's probably one of the best strategies you're going to be using to get yourself back to normal in a lot of situations, because things can get out of hand if you don't kind of control that. So taking a pilgrimage often might be the best strat in a hardcore mode playthrough. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Consider subbing to the channel so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guides, and everything else that I got coming for hardcore mode and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm going to have a perfect hardcore mode starting guide coming up real soon. That's going to get you pebbles. That's going to get you the dice. That's going to have you a master at navigation in the game. A wonderful outfit that you can use with decent charisma. A weapon. A bunch of starter potions. And just everything you need to really just make it in this game. If you're looking forward to that, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you get notified when I drop it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is your boy MSensei HD Fernando. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here.